The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
TKO.
Right, bro.
Good, man. What's
Good.
going on?
Nah, not much.
Now, you're down here, did the gig at Northern Sound System last night.
Yeah, done that with Kearve, Forte, Mitchos, the boys. We could travel down on the plane yesterday.
And this is your first time performing in Adelaide?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So how'd you find the SA crowd? What'd you think?
Yeah, I loved them.
Yeah?
It's good little venue, bro. Packed it out.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good.
Now, any similarities to when you do gigs back home?
Yeah, I felt like the crowd down here was like more our kind of crowd.
Mm.
Yeah, it was good.
And so when you say more our kind of crowd, what sort of...
Just a lot of people, I think, that can relate to the music and stuff like that.
Mm.
Don't just listen to it. Like, a lot of them can relate to it.
So I guess in terms of your music, if you had to describe, obviously it's hip-hop, you come out of West Sydney.
No, I'm from Newcastle.
You're from Newcastle?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess first of all, before we even get into the music, tell us a little bit about, growing up in Newcastle and how that, involved into you becoming an MC.
I don't know, mate. I grew up in Newcastle, Hamilton, Islington, around there. The music just came to us when me and mates turned about 12, 13. We started drinking and smoking, and we started mucking around, freestyling. And it always just was freestyle.
Yeah.
And I never really took it seriously until last year.
Yeah, wow.
The life that I live pretty much sums up my rap. The life I live, yeah.
So I guess when you say things like the life that I live.
Yep.
So one thing because the first time I came across you as an artist was when I was checking out Forte's channel.
Yep.
And you guys had a joint where you collabed on it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that stood out to me, I was like, homeboy here looks like he's, how do I word it? Being involved in the street shit.
Yeah.
And then the more I sort of listened to the music, that became pretty clear to me.
Mm.
I guess outside of the music, do you care to sort of fill us in just on your upbringing in that side of it? Like, when did you sort of find yourself, how do I word it? That dabbling in what's quote unquote, what society would deem as like the wrong kind of shit, or
I think I started shoplifting when I was about 8. And then, when I started smoking and drinking, I was like 12. And then I started breaking into houses and cars and doing all that sort of stuff. I didn't have a mum or a dad. Like, I did, but like, my dad was always in jail, and my mum, she got rid of me when I was like 12 or something. So I pretty much just had to fend for myself and did what I had to do.
Mm.
Living on the streets was a lot of that, and when you're on the streets, you got to do what you got to do.
Mm. And like in Newcastle, where you were growing up, did you find that there was a lot of that stuff going on around you, like the shoplifting?
Yeah, lots of my mates were doing all that sort of stuff. The shoplifting was really nothing. That was just from very young, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know why we did that. It was probably just a bit of fun. But it progressed when I got to like 13, like it was always like cars and stuff. Just a lot of stupid shit. Houses. We were doing whatever we could, really. And a lot of my mates were doing that stuff as well.
Mm.
And
were you like one of the younger cats in the clique?
Me and one of my bros, Dom, we knocked about together like with some older blokes as well, yeah.
Mm.
And
was it like a sort of thing where it's just like because, the folks are not around, you got to do what you got to do to get some money?
That's it, bro. I guess I didn't know any fucking better as well.
Mm.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Like, and I was addicted to the fucking pot and the drink. So that addiction will play a part in it as well.
Did you have anyone around you around that time that was sort of trying to steer you away from that direction, or pretty much?
Not really, nah. I did have an uncle. He tried for a bit. I was pretty rebellious, so there's not much he could really do. He was a big softie, Nothing really he could do.
You couldn't control, yeah?
Nah. Yeah.
So 12, 13, I think from memory, that's like around year 7.
Year 7, yeah.
And then, so you would have still been in school?
Yeah, I left school in year 8.
Okay, and I imagine just because it wasn't for you, you weren't.
Yeah, no, I was too, like I said, the drugs, and I was always worrying about where I was going to stay next usually. So school, I didn't have fucking books, or I was just getting in trouble there a lot at school. So they expelled me in year 8.
And then I guess once you left school in year 8, where did sort of things go to from there? Did you find yourself you were more involved in the street shit from that point on?
For sure. And started selling weed and just that other shit I was talking about, just always scraping by, but never really on top of anything.
And then I think in one of your videos I've seen some scenes where like it's sort of themed in a cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm assuming obviously that represents that you've done some time yourself.
Yeah, I've done some jail, yep.
So I guess, like year 8, you're around 12, 13 years old, you left school, now you're really on your own.
Yep.
There's no school, no folks around.
Yep.
You're doing your thing. I guess, how old were you when you first, really got caught up with the law and started going that route?
Well, yeah, first time in jail was 19. Yeah, I was lucky when I was younger. I was a bit quicker, I think.
So you never had to do juvie?
Nah, I never did juvie.
Like
I was pretty lucky. I was very lucky, actually. Not that juvie was a bit of a holiday, I think, but 19 was the first time I went to jail.
And then I guess like when that happened, did you sort of know because of all the stuff that you were doing that was like inevitable and around
I knew it was
the corner?
inevitable, yeah. Well, my dad done 30-something years in jail, so I was like, when I was younger anyway, I was like I knew I was going to go to jail. I didn't think of it as a bad thing. Like a lot of my mates went to jail, and I just kind of thought that was what it was, you know what I mean?
It's almost like the norm of growing up.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then, so I guess, like, when that time came, I mean, first of all, are you allowed to say what it was that happened that landed you in there the first time?
The first time, I broke a copper's arm in Queensland. I was just drunk at the train station, and we fucking got into a thing. And he handcuffed me, and we, like, had a little wrestle kind of thing, and he fell over, and I fell on top of him. Like, it was more his fault, but, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'll do it.
And then, so I guess when that all happened and, you first had to go away, first of all, which facility did you get sent to?
That's what BCC is called.
Okay. And then, like, I guess, as someone, for myself, where that kind of stuff is so far away from my reality, can you walk us through, I guess, your headspace the first time that you go into an environment like that?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. Yeah, I was only young. Considering myself, I was a lot better looking than I am now. I was yeah, I was pretty scared, eh? I think lots of young fellas get pretty scared. I didn't know anyone up that way either. I'm from New South Wales, a Nui boy. And but it was all right.
And then, so I guess, going in there, being scared, being 19, it wasn't, as...
It wasn't what I expected. It wasn't like the stories you hear when you're younger. Yeah, it was a lot easier than it was made out to be.
Did you have sort of people around you sort of try to school you in on, like, look, if you're going away, this is the way you got to carry yourself?
Well, I knew, like, there's a code, you know what I mean? You got morals and respect for people. That'll get you by most of the time.
So you're 19. You're doing some time. Now, how old were you when you got out?
19.
Okay, so you had to do how long?
Done 5 months that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got through it all right, obviously?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so then you got out.
Yeah.
And then...
I got out on remand. I was on remand and I got out on bail, yeah.
Okay, and then so once you got out, where did things sort of progress from there? Did you continue still doing some of the same sort of shit?
Yeah. Look, yeah. I didn't stop till I was about 25.
And then, so did you end up having to do more time?
Yeah, I'd done a couple. I went to jail a few times down here in New South Wales, or down in New South Wales.
And can you talk about you know, what sort of landed you in there those times?
I can talk about it, like, if you want to hear about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of violent stuff, mate. I was just a aggro drunk, pretty much. Last time, 2015, they got set up by the police, but and they tried to lock me away for 15 years, 10 to 15 years for take detain. It is like a kidnapping and a GBH, assault, and fought that for about 6 months and ended up beating it. I was pretty lucky. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, eh?
Damn, man.
Yeah.
How was that going? That would have been a pretty stressful.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, after about a while, I just thought to myself, well, you got in there, you got to just think that always the worst outcome, you know what I mean? Anything else is a bonus and it's kick a goal.
So you just brace yourself for the worst.
Yeah, and I didn't have people outside to buy me legal aid, like a good lawyer or stuff like that. So I just had legal aid relying on legal aid on a 15-year whack, which is legal aid can fucking really dick you sometimes. They don't really go to bat for you sometimes. Not too worried about it. They get paid either way. Yeah, he was a good lawyer and it went all right. And there was no evidence as well, mate. You know what I mean? Like the coppers out where it was up in Byron Bay. They had it out for me.
So yeah, that's what I was going to say. Why do you feel it is that they singled you out and tried to do you dirty like that?
Oh, I was a bit of a fucking hooligan, you know. I had a few running. Like they locked me up a few times up there. And that time they were like, "No, you got you this time, mate. We won't be seeing you for a while." Yeah.
And then so you beat that case. You got out.
Yep.
Now, when you got out, you were how old?
I've done 6 months, so I think 26.
Okay. And then that was the last time that you had to go in?
Yeah. Last time.
Okay. And so once, you know, you've obviously been in and out a bit.
Yep.
That's your last time. Was your, you know, I guess your mentality and your mind frame towards day-to-day life a little bit different after going through something like that?
Not really, no. It made my hatred for the police a lot stronger, I'll tell you that. Like try and take someone's freedom away from them for holding a grudge, you know what I mean? Like all it was a fight, and then they tried to say that I kidnapped him and stuff like that. The bloke was fucking never tied up or nothing like that. They just didn't like me. They had it out for me.
So at which stage then from that point did the sort of music thing become something that you were doing? Like were you writing raps?
Well, I got out on parole. Like it was ICO order, like because I did a plea bargain with they gave me the 6 months. I went back to court, and they said, "Oh well, there's no evidence." You know what I mean? All they had was me going into a bottle shop with old mate. When we were in there, we were both laughing. You know what I mean? So there was nothing really they had on me, besides him going to the hospital later that night and saying what he said, but. So they came in and they said, like, I knew they were trying to get me to fucking plead guilty to all this stuff, and like a couple months before, and I said no, and we kept going with the court case. And then they come in that day and they said, well, we got a plea bargain. Will you take so and so charge? And I said, yeah, I'll take that fucking. No worries, mate. And then the lawyer said we might be able to get you out today. And then we went for this. It's called an ICO order. I got down on an ICO order, a 12-month ICO order. It's like parole, but a bit stricter. Like it's like a home arrest kind of thing. Arrested in the community. But took that and then went back down to Newcastle. And then I met a girl, my wife now. She fell pregnant. And then that's what changed me.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And then so what, you know, obviously when you have a family,
Yep.
it sort of changed the way that you're thinking. So then where did the music sort of come into it?
And then because of the ICO order, I always rapped, like I said, always freestyled and rapped since I was 12. But when I was on parole, the ICO order, I had to do piss tests every week and all that sort of stuff. So I was clean for the first time in my life ever since 12.
Wow.
And like then I could actually think, you know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I always knew, people always said to me, oh bro, you could be this, you could be that. You're that good, you know what I mean, bro, whatever. And I thought, fuck this. One day I just video recorded me rapping on my phone with a beat playing in the background, sent it to Hustle Hard TV, shout out Gunster. And he hit me back straight away saying, bro, this is fucking fire. Can you come down to Sydney? We'll do a clip. I said, let's do it. And the rest is history, bro.
I probably should have asked you this earlier. First of all, I mean, where does the title TKO come from, and the New Boys?
Newey Boys, that's
Newey Boys.
Newcastle, Newey Boys. And TKO, that's my initials.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because I was...
So, I mean, either or, you know what I mean? It's my initials. People don't know that, but
I guess Total
they
Knockout.
take it like Total Knockout straight away. Take it how you want to take it.
Did you know that, like, when you put your initials as that people would anticipate that it was Total Knockout?
Oh, for sure. Of course. I think my dad, I asked my dad why my middle name, like, why he gave me that middle name. He's like, so your initials would be TKO. So it was always pretty well planned, I think.
One of the things that really caught my attention is the numbers on the clips.
Yep.
And also the quantity of clips, you know.
Yeah, well, that's something too, like, that got me in the game. When I started, I just didn't stop, bro. I probably did like 20-something clips in 1 year. I was doing a clip every 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just continuously writing, recording,
Yeah.
then do the video, bang,
And
the next
and then
one.
I did an album on top of that. That went #1 on iTunes and Google Play. Yeah, so I ended up doing like 50 tracks or something in that year or something.
In 12 months.
In the 40, 50, don't quote me, something around there.
Wow, that's crazy. And so do you attribute a lot of that to just having a clear mind? And
Yeah, it was at the start. It was a lot of clear mind stuff that got me back in. And then I got back on smoking the cones and stuff, right? Just cones. And I'm back off them now, but needed to have a break. But definitely the clear mind and having my daughter, bro. I always knew I could do it, and she was a big push for me and my wife. That was something, you know. I wouldn't say I'm killing it or anything like that, but I make enough to feed my family, and that's what it's all about.
And now, so tell us a bit about this album, because I only know about the YouTube stuff.
The album, well, I dropped that. It's been out for a while now. That's our TKO. It's called Road to Redemption. It's on iTunes, Google Play. Did hard copies and stuff. Sold some last night. Yeah, it's a lot of diverse albums. Got lots of different kinds of songs on it. All my songs are just about me, pretty much, bro. But a lot of them can be like about other. It was a life that I lived, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say I'm living it at the moment. I've definitely pulled my socks up. I've got to be a father and a husband. So just a lot about the life I lived, bro. That's what my album's about.
And so,
And my present life as well, and changing, becoming into the man I am now, and what I'm doing for my family, and yeah.
and so if you had to describe the sound or the style of your music.
It's grimy, bro. In your face, fucking real shit. Real stuff. Real street music. Yeah.
Do you find that there's people out there doing street music that are not, you know, authentic?
Oh, for sure, bro. 90% of the fucking game.
And so when you see shit like that, like what are the sorts of things?
At the start, I was like, you know what I mean? Fake, But now, if I think about it too much, it just fucking annoys me, bro. So I just tend not to go there. Let the fucking girls do what they want. And if the fans can't see these guys are obviously bullshit, then that's their call. I'm not going to be the one to say, well.
Yeah, word.
unless, you know what I mean, unless they push me to the point where I'm going to have to. Like if they, you know, if I feel like they're taking a shot or something like that, we'll obviously do something.
Do you ever have any situations where people question your authenticity once they hear and see your music?
Of course, mate. Yeah. You get that a lot in this game.
Mm.
There's always going to be haters.
And do you address any of these things, or you sort of just let it roll?
Sometimes, like I used to, and like I said, but like if once you argue, if they're just all keyboard warriors, mate, like there's nothing much. They're not going to come and meet you face to face. If they see you in the street, they're fucking going to turn around the other way and walk the other way or run the other way.
Mm. So I imagine, you know, as you said, you know, you've had a few scuffles in your day.
Yeah.
But since you've entered the rap thing, you know, have you had any sort of situations due to rap?
Nah, no, I've never been confronted once. A lot of time on the internet, never face to face.
Do you ever get concerned that, like, you know, with your history and the content of your music, that's gonna, you know, agitate or piss off 5-0 to the point where they don't leave, you know, they're not going to leave you alone? And
They don't leave me alone anyway. I made a song called Fuck the Police. You know, me and Ford done a song, I was saying, fuck the task force in the chorus and stuff like that. I'm not too fussed about them. They go, I keep my nose clean, bro, at the moment. And if I wasn't keeping my nose clean, I wouldn't rap about it. Real criminals don't fucking go and rap about it, bro.
Did you find any sort of like catch any heat off that Fuck the Police joint once you dropped it?
I think so. Like, they'll pull up in front of my house for a bit. They just sit there for a bit and they'll drive off or pull me up in my driveway a lot of times, search the car, search me. But nothing out of the normal.
Mm.
I got a look about me, they tend to just pull me over.
The Hottest 100 on Triple J.
Yeah.
Now, you've got a song with that kid Kearve.
Yeah, the brother Kearve.
The Way I Was.
The Way I Was.
Now, not only does that have over 1 million views.
Yeah, I think it's got 1.2 or something in 6 months.
It's also made the Triple J Hottest 100.
Most voted in the top 100.
So when it says most voted in the top 100, does that mean that it's guaranteed to get those spins on that day that they go through the 100 countdown?
I don't know.
Got no idea.
No idea. Wouldn't know what they do.
Wow. So you didn't consciously try to submit this song?
Nah, we didn't have a clue about it, no. Yeah. We didn't say to people vote for this song or nothing like that.
Wow. And then so when you found out that news, how'd that make you feel?
Yeah, I was stoked, bro. Big news.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of artists that have been
especially
working.
because it's more mainstream and the push from the underground and get in there onto the mainstream kind of list where swearing and stuff like that usually doesn't get in there, you think. Pretty stoked.
Yeah, man. That's big. Especially like a lot of artists have been putting in a lot of work for a lot of years trying to get that. And you've managed to somehow do it in, you know, a year or two. Congratulations to that, man.
Legend.
You didn't even try and pitch for it.
No, we didn't have a clue.
Wow. Yeah, so when you say most voted, that's just the public. They're just like SMSing in or...
There must be, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you don't know whether that guarantees you that daytime spin or not.
No.
That'll be crazy. So I guess you'll be having your ear to the radio tuned in on that day?
Not really. Oh, what's the date?
Well, I think the last few years it's been on Australia Day. But I think they're going to change it now.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing about them changing the date of the Hottest 100.
I'm sure someone will pick up on it and message me. Someone will be listening to it. Heard you on Triple J 100, bro. You in the Kearve, killing it.
Now, when you guys put that song out, I mean, did you anticipate it was going to get that sort of online traction? Because 1 million views is, you know, that's a lot of...
I was talking to Kearve about it yesterday. No, I didn't think it was going to go that big. I knew it was going to go good, but I didn't think it was going to go that good, yeah.
What is it about that particular joint that you think, you know, made it click like that?
Kearve comes in with that fire at the start. It really catches your ear. and the hook in it, the hook is banger. Like the way I was, because that cash rules everything around us. Young, dumb, drunk in the streets where they found us. Bud stashed in my DAC spitting loud, cause that's the way I was. Yeah, that's the way I was. I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And the go-to stash spot is down the DACs, isn't it?
And so, how did you and Kearve, I guess, initially sort of link up, and then how did that particular song actually come together?
I can't even remember. How did we link up, Kearve? Through Forte, yeah. Oh, and the Corey gig, Fight for Corey gig. Rest in peace to Corey. That was an awesome show that we did for him. I was really honoured to be a part of that. We met there and we kicked it off straight away. Fucking on their drinks. It was both of our first shows ever. Live performance, and yeah, we just hit it off straight away. He's a top bloke, Kearve.
And then, so how did that particular song come together?
Then we were just like, we kept contact after that a lot. Spoke all the time, and we just said we got to do a song together, brother. And I messaged him. I said, bro, we got to fucking get this song out. Let's do something. And he's like, bro, I just got a beat now. And he sent me the beat. I wrote one verse, and then he sent me his verse. I was like, that's too good. I got to write another fucking verse. and I wrote another verse, and Kearve had the hook ready to go. At first, I was like, bro, I don't know. And then he showed me it on the beat, and I was like, yeah, that's fire.
And then
next thing I was down in West Syd. We were at Victor's in Mount Druitt Empire. We went there, recorded it, and a week later we clipped it. Fucking, the rest is,
is what it is.
Yeah.
1.2 million views later and some Triple J.
Yeah, bro, I never ever thought I'd get 1 million views, eh?
I kind of feel that the landscape of hip-hop in Australia is changing quite a bit.
Yep.
When I first caught on to Australian hip-hop, it was, your hoods, like I said,
Yep.
Funkors, a lot of Adelaide stuff, but also your Melbourne, like Lyrical Commission, or the Obese Camp. And now, it seems like the street stuff is really kind of popping now.
Yeah, well,
The kids are really gravitating towards
that's
it.
what I was. My first introduction to Oz hip hop, Oz rap was obviously I heard of Hilltop Hoods on the radio and stuff, but the other names aren't known to me that you just said. But my first stuff I started listening to, mate, showed me Forte, and that's so like it's a big thing for me to be working with Forte now, because he was the first Aussie rapper I really listened to.
And do you find that, so when you first heard the Hoods, it wasn't really a narrative that you could relate to?
Well, not really. I've never been to rock concerts and that. I've never been in a nosebleed section. I don't even, I was stuck to even know what the fuck it was for a while. Hard Road, that's one song I could relate to from Hilltop Hoods. Yeah, that's about it.
And then, so after you discovered Forte, who were some of the artists?
I started listening to other stuff, you know what I mean? I listened to Ford, I listened to Cursor, I listened to Flows, and Avi to Enter, stuff like that. That's when I was a younger. Yeah, I could relate to all these guys' kind of music, you know what I mean? They were talking about stuff I was doing at the time.
And now I saw a photo, I think it was either on Instagram or Facebook, and there's like a couple kids at the gig last night. You took a photo with them.
Oh yeah, I'm down in the crowd the whole time, mate. I'm just out in the crowd getting pissed. A lot of rappers don't even mingle with the crowd. I'm just out there doing what I do.
Now they looked like they had a look on their face in the photo like you absolutely made their day. And I can't remember exactly what the caption read, but between the caption and the photo, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, this dude's really connecting
Yeah.
And yeah, just really having an impact on these kids.
Yeah.
You know, when the younger cats sort of watch, I guess, when they watch this interview, you know, and they feel like they really connect with your music and your struggles that you've had in the past.
Yeah.
Do you have sort of any, you know, I don't know if advice is the right word, but any, you know, anything along those lines that you would, you know, say to the younger guys that were maybe going through what you were going through?
Yeah. Fuck. It's hard because when you're at that age, it goes in one ear and out the other, you know. But my advice is just to keep their heads up, look for help, you know. There's agencies and stuff out there that can help with accommodation and stuff like that, and food and stuff like that. Go to school, like don't drop out of school. Selling, you know, getting into trouble isn't cool. In the long run, you're just digging yourself a fucking ditch, and no one fucking cares when you're in jail. Like all these, you might think, oh, I've never had a visit. When I was in jail, I never got a visit. So yeah, like yeah, bros aren't your bros all the time. You know what I mean? Like, if that's your crew, your bros and stuff like that, and they say they're gonna do this for you and that for you, like there is a certain few that will. You know what I mean? And it just depends. But from my experience, I'd just say worry about yourself, get an education, get a job, go the right way in life, because yeah, otherwise you're just gonna end up in the system and in a rut, and it's very fucking hard to get out of. 90% won't get out of it, maybe even more. 95% of people won't get out of it, maybe. A lot of my mates that have been to jail just continue to go back to jail. And that's no life for anyone, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? There's nothing in jail.
So when you found that you weren't getting those visits, I mean, did you expect that you would be getting more visits?
Of course, mate. I've been stabbed and stuff like that. I was on life support for 3 months, and the people that I got stabbed for didn't even visit me in hospital. You know what I mean? Like, I lost my life. I was like dead on arrival, and the people that I did it for, stood up for and went to war for, didn't even come and visit me in hospital. So that speaks for itself as well. The kids just take that advice in and listen to that, because in the end you got yourself. Worry about yourself, do what's right, look after your family. Yeah.
Being as someone who's, you know, been involved in the streets and done time in prison, any like standout moments where you've just seen crazy shit go down where you're just like, fuck, that was some wild fucking shit? Because I imagine you would have seen a lot and been through a lot.
Yeah, I've lived it myself. But
any personal experiences in particular, you know, where
like getting stabbed, that was probably the biggest one.
So I guess,
and I carried my guts to the hospital.
So, okay, so, I mean, that sounds fucking insane, and so long as you're comfortable with it, I mean, can you walk us through how and why that happened?
Like I said, I was just getting involved in something I shouldn't have been for people that didn't deserve it. I was trying to be, like, it's all right to be a good bloke, you know what I mean, but when you got a lot of heart, you tend to go to bat for people a lot. And a lot of people will not go to bat for you. So, I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
And then, so what actually ended up happening to you? You got stabbed, like where exactly and how many times? And
I just got stabbed once in the stomach with a big, like Bowie knife. And when he pulled it out, he ran, and my intestines came out, my colon came out. They were just like hanging out of me. I was just like, what the fuck? Everyone around me started screaming, fucking, lie down, lie down. I knew if I've seen movies, you lie down, you're brown bread. you die. My mate, I remember my mate was there, I said, give me a shirt. And I like hammocked my stomach up and all my guts into this shirt. And like I knew the hospital was about 300 metres away. So I walked to that hospital, that was Byron Bay. And they got me in there onto a bed, and that was only a tiny hospital, so they couldn't do anything for me there. So then they had to rush me to the next big hospital, which was 30 minutes away. And then like on the way there, like I got like pretty much all the way there, and then I just blanked out. And then I woke up 2 days later, like after, yeah.
Fucking hell, so you had to walk yourself to the hospital trying to hold your intestines and shit
Yeah.
inside of your body.
I wasn't trying to push them back in, but
Just
like you picture like a shirt in front of you, like full of water. Like it was like there was lots of guts there.
now, man, what kind of shit's going through your head as you kind of like taking yourself?
Well,
to the
I didn't
hospital?
want to die, so I was just like soldier mode kicked in, and I know like I just tried to keep my breathing good. Didn't want to panic. Like obviously I was fucking panicking, but everyone around me was like panicking, pretty much worse than me. So I just told everyone that was near me, I said, shut the fuck up, be quiet, and just breathed. Just made, in through the nose, out through the mouth, sort of shit. And then got to the hospital, and then, yeah.
And how long did you end up having to spend in hospital to
I
recover?
think it was like 2 months. 2 months.
Fuck.
And I only got out of jail a week before.
Shit.
Yeah. So that whole year was just jail and hospital.
I guess that's often where the streets end up, huh?
That's right, mate. That's right.
And then, so did that change the way that you can eat or, play
Yeah, I
sports
still have
or
like
anything
problems
like
with
that?
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Shit.
Wouldn't be able to play football or nothing.
And so you had to get stitches.
Yeah, I got I got a lot of internal stitches, and then I got lots of staples. They stapled my stomach back up.
Damn. What did the doctors have to say to you after surgery?
Nothing much, mate. They've seen it all before, I think. But they were pretty good up there.
Did they say that you were lucky to still be alive?
Oh yeah, for sure. Very lucky.
And now I saw a photo, I think it was either on Instagram or Facebook, and there's like a couple kids at the gig last night. You took a photo with them.
Oh yeah, I'm down in the
And-
crowd the whole time, mate. I'm just out in the crowd getting pissed. Fucking, I don't. A lot of rappers don't even mingle with the crowd. I'm just out there doing what I do.
Now they looked like they had a look on their face in the photo like you absolutely made their day.
Mm.
And I can't remember exactly what the caption read, but between the caption and the photo, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, like, this dude's really connecting.
Yeah.
And yeah, just really having an impact on these kids.
Yeah.
When the younger cats sort of watch, I guess, when they watch this interview, and they feel like they really connect with your music and your struggles that you've had in the past.
Yeah.
Do you have sort of any, I don't know if advice is the right word, but anything along those lines that you would, say to the younger guys that were maybe going through what you were going through?
Yeah. Fuck. It's hard because when you're at that age, it goes in one ear and out the other, But my advice is just to keep their heads up, look for help. There's agencies and stuff out there that can help with accommodation and stuff like that, and food and stuff like that. Go to school, like don't drop out of school. Selling, getting into trouble isn't cool. In the long run, you're just digging yourself a fucking ditch, and no one fucking cares when you're in jail. Like all these, you might think, I've never had a visit. When I was in jail, I never got a visit. So yeah, your bros aren't your bros all the time. You know what I mean? Like, if that's your crew, your bros and stuff like that, and they say they're gonna do this for you and that for you. Like there is a certain few that will, you know what I mean? And it just depends. But from my experience, I'd just say worry about yourself, get an education, get a job, go the right way in life, because, yeah, otherwise you're just going to end up in the system and in a rut, and it's very fucking hard to get out of. 90% won't get out of it, maybe even more. 95% of people won't get out of it, maybe. A lot of my mates that have been to jail just continue to go back to jail. And that's no life for anyone, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? There's nothing in jail.
So when you found that you weren't getting those visits, I mean, did you expect that you would be getting more visits?
Of course, mate. I've been stabbed and stuff like that. I was on life support for 3 months, and the people that I got stabbed for didn't even visit me in hospital. You know what I mean? Like, I lost my life. I was like dead on arrival, and the people that I did it for, stood up for and went to war for, didn't even come and visit me in hospital. So that speaks for itself as well. The kids just take that advice in and listen to that, because
wow, that's crazy.
In the end, you got yourself. Worry about yourself. Do what's right. Look after your family. Yeah.
Now you hear, you know, that's a war story, and you hear, you know, those kinds of stories, you know, about prison. And I'm sure different prisons are different. Maybe some are the same. For someone like myself, you know, it's very foreign territory for me, that sort of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that there would be a lot of violence as well as a lot of other things going on in there. I guess, you know, can you reflect on some of the crazy shit that you've sort of seen with your own eyes go down in places like that?
Oh yeah, you see people get stabbed. Seen a bloke get both his bones popped out of his legs once. The guy broke his neck as well. Lots of stuff like that.
And they're sort of like, you know, I hear from stories from people that, you know, if you go in and you get tested, you know, you're going to have to fight.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a certain way that you got to carry yourself. And
exactly, like I said, morals and respect.
Yeah.
And yeah. And
I guess that pretty much, if you carry yourself like that, then you'll get through.
Yeah. And if someone puts it on you, you're going to have a go. If not, you go over to the boneyard with the fucking protection flops. Yeah.
Do you find that, if you don't step up, like you're just going to get picked on continuously?
Well, I've seen it a lot of times, mate, in there. That's what happens, yeah. Once you're a target, you're always a target. Pretty much. Don't let yourself become a target. You know,
weed is seen as a, you know, pretty harmless drug by most people, I'd say.
For some, but like there's that 10% that it can, like, it fucks with my brain a bit. Send me into a bit of a state. I get bad anxiety and stuff like that, and it really fucking, it really amps that up.
Now, weed's always been around as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But
grows out of the ground, mate.
But, you know, meth, you know, and ice.
Yeah.
That's some shit that I noticed, you know, for me, I noticed it started to come in, say, 10 years ago or however long. And that seems to have, obviously, or does have, like a huge negative impact.
Yeah.
Now, I guess when you were a younger lad, even up until now, I mean, what are some of the things, obviously you've come across that shit.
Yeah.
What are some of the major things that you have seen in terms of the way it changes people or communities or people around you that get involved in that sort of shit, whether it's using or moving?
Or tears apart families, kills people, destroys people's lives. It's a putrid drug, mate. I wouldn't recommend it. Anyone that's on it and anyone that is on it should get off it. I've lost family members and stuff like that to it. Well, when I say family members, I just mean very close friends, brothers. Yeah, it's played a big part in my life. You know, And yeah, I wouldn't advise anyone to smoke it or inject it or whatever they do.
Do you think
And
that there's
people that
any?
sell it, yeah, I think that it's a bit of a mug's game.
Do you think that there's any solution to, because they call it an epidemic, and from what I see, it definitely.
Surely, mate, there's like 5 crackheads on the way here. Like, there's a few in Adelaide. I was just walking here, and they're not all there. They're off with the fairies. They're gone, and that's no way to live your life. Like, just to be a zombie,
Mm.
They don't even know what they're doing. They're just chasing the high. And then when they get it, they're just chasing the high again.
Do you see any solutions to the?
To the ice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not getting on the methadone. A lot of people get on the drugs and then just get on the methadone now, or the Butte program or something like that. And that's just moving to another addiction. I think the rehab, mate, get some rehab into them.
Do you think there's anything that like agencies, like government agencies or anything like that can do?
Surely there's, but like I said, people with ice addictions aren't going to listen to anyone. One ear out the other. They're just worried about feeding their habit. The only person that can help you is yourself in the long run. If you don't want to help yourself, no one's going to be able to help you.
The lesson. 927. Oh, yeah.